So today we're drinking at work with James Brooksby. James, what's your drink?
What's we drink? A nice glass of red wine.
Glass of red wine. I'm sure we can do that. So, while we're drinking, how did you come to be here, James? You're the studio head of Doublesix here in Guildford. Tell us about how you got here. How did you start in the games industry?
How did I start? That's a good one. Let's see now. Went through uni, finished uni, got a master's, and then...
Masters in what?
Electronic engineering.
Geek.
So I was going to do electronics, and my dad really wanted to do electronics, things like that, but I really wanted to do games, the bulk of electronics by then. And went and thought, well, I'm going to get into this industry somehow, and playing loads of games at uni anyway. And so I applied for some jobs, and lo and behold, got a job as an artist, which was using my artistic talents as opposed to my engineering.
You're a renaissance man, James. What sort of games were you playing when you were at uni? What were the sort of things that occupying your time?
That was, we were playing loads on the Amiga at the time. We used to, all of us just get together and play a game called Empire Deluxe, which was almost like a massive Civilizations type game, and Space Crusade. I used to play that a lot as well. It's like something you could play as a group, hand round the Amiga, have it on the telly whilst watching late night Prisoner Cell Block H on the telly.
So in your time in the industry, what do you think have been the highlights?
Oh man, that's a good one. I reckon highlights are always when you get a game out there, when it's done, when you're enjoying that moment where it's complete, it's out there. So there's been a few. We've over my 15 odd years.
Showing your age now, James.
Had a few games out there, so it's always on release. Although
any particular thing special, or what was the last game you released? Burn Zombie Burn, right?
Burn Zombie Burn is a big one for us, and although
why was that a particular milestone?
Well, a particular milestone is our first self-published digital distribution game.
And that's on what platform?
On PlayStation Network and PC now. And that one we've been really pleased with because it's been successful, and that was very very anxious times, mind you, because that was more like it's our money, it matters to us when it came out. So even though I said it's exciting and like highlights when the game comes out, that was pretty terrifying at the same time.
I'm sure. In terms of the gameplay, how did you? Careful, James, don't spill it on your computer. We'll all get in trouble. How did that concept come about? How do you come up with ideas? Where do you get inspiration for your games? Where do you find inspiration from?
Well, the thing is, it's not just me; it's everybody. So, like everybody around me, we all talk about what we think is good ideas. All the design team, everybody in the studio, we all contribute, and we've come up with a lot of the games that we're currently working on as a group. Sometimes you get handed games, and it's the way it works in the business. Sometimes you get people to come to you with ideas. Burn Zombie Burn, however, was an interesting one because I had a long meeting with one of the creative directors and wrote a large whiteboard of everything that we thought gamers liked, things that were cool and new, and so on. And we came up with basically games like zombies, games like fire, and that fire could be done in a really cool way on the next gen consoles. And then we knew we wanted to make something arcade and fun, and I matched it all together, and that was the game concept. It didn't have a name, and then I came up with a name.
Best name ever, James. Burn Zombie Burn. Who doesn't want to play that?
And then the name described it all, and it was it's a winner. And I've even got we printed little 3D figures on with that, which we 3D printed, and I painted that with my geeky wargaming painting skills.
Did you like wargaming and role-playing games? Is that one of your inspirations?
Loads, yes, yeah.
Is your kitchen full of paint and little models of things?
I wouldn't say kitchen now, because I've got kids and stuff. In the old days, bigger painting, wargaming, all that kind of stuff. We still play board games. I mean, just now over lunch we played a card game called Dominion, which is really cool because you haven't got the time for long-term. Long war games anymore, but there's loads of really good card and board games. I really like those. So you want to keep them with other genres, not just computer games.
Sure. Are there anybody? Everybody's influenced by different people. Who do you think there are people that have influenced you in your career, and who would you say has been a big influence on the way your career has developed, the games you play, the things you do?
I think I wouldn't say there's been a person as such, and I think it's a tricky one to say in this industry. I mean, some people are influenced by the big game design names, but I wouldn't say there's a particular person that makes me inspired. I think the games themselves inspire. Certainly for me, I know it's different for other people. I mean, some people achieve things that in a business sense that I aspire to, and some people achieve things in games in terms of aspire to. But there's always a story behind each one when you think, how much did they have to play? Because it's not clear how much any given person had to influence one game or one thing, because it is a team effort after all.
Well, if you could have an infinite amount of budget and people and time, what would be the game that you'd like to create? Have you got a magnum opus inside your head?
I have.
Is the wine clad in that? You don't have to tell us specifically.
No, I can't tell you specifically, but yeah, I do. And
what sort of game would it be? What game would you like?
If I had an infinite amount of money, then I'd probably make something that I didn't care whether it sold that much and was just very nerdy and built for myself. So seeing as I really like strategic type games, I'll probably build something that has had a massive strategic benefit. Not a big FPS, not anything like that. Really, probably incredibly nerdy, hardcore strategy game that I would love to play.
So, what is the studio working on at the moment?
What we're doing, well, some things can't really say at the moment. In fact, all of it we can't say at the moment, which is a bit annoying, I guess. But we're
definitely going towards self-publishing.
In general terms, yeah, Doublesix has just changed quite a bit. We're doing more and more. It's called self-publishing, but it starts to make no sense. So it's actually, effectively, we're a small publisher, a small burgeoning publisher that's publishing just in the digital space, and we're bringing in a new model, new finance, new money, and building games for ourselves, which is really cool.
So we're going to get to see your nerdy magnum opus game?
If I can get the money. You said an infinite amount of money. Somebody's got to give me an infinite amount. 50% of an infinite amount of money.
You heard it here, folks. James needs money. What's the best part of your job, do you think? You run a small studio, you make great games. What do you enjoy the most?
I guess it's the creative moments, the best of the best. When you're sat there and you're either thinking of a solution to a small part of a game's creative problem, or even better, when you actually do get to the chance, which is quite rare these days. You've got pretty much a blank sheet of paper and potentially some financing and an opportunity and a team to go out there and make a game. And it could be almost anything.
Where do you think the industry is going? Where do you see the game's going to be? It's only a 30-year-old industry or thereabouts. You've come a long way since Pong. What's the next thing?
Well, what's the next thing?
Is 3D going to hit big, do you think?
I don't think 3D is going to be that big. I think it's going to be fun. But 3D in the long term, sure, depends. Long term, yeah, sure, it will be. But you've got to get rid of the glasses.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
What about controllers and stuff? How are you on that? Because most of your games haven't been controller-based.
No, I mean, yeah, we've done some stuff in the past with the Wii and things like that, so we have done things with controllers. I think people will constantly try and find things that are new and so on, but some games just don't work with them. So some games will work with fun controller, different types and things like that, but who knows?
What do you do when you're not making games, James? I presume you just lie at home staring at the ceiling thinking of more game ideas, but when your wife manages to stop you doing that, and apart from drinking red wine in large amounts...
Apart from drinking red wine and things like that, the boring stuff, because I'm old these days and there's all the boring stuff.
You got 3 kids?
Going to the dump and 3 kids and all that kind of stuff, but I am quite nerdy, as you have already picked up, and I do build model kits and paint them and collect sort of robots, and also play war games and card games with my son as well, and still do a bit of painting, things like that. Depends what crowds you do.
I notice you've got an iPad there. What's your favourite app on the iPad?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Well, this is the Uniqlo calendar, which I think is great. It's mesmerising. Civilization Revolution. I was playing on there loads this weekend, which I thought was cool. It's very good in HD. But there's all kinds of bits and bobs on there that I think are great. And there's a star. Looking at the stars. There you go. That was new, which was cool.
What's that called?
It's called Star Walk, and you literally point the iPad at the sky, and it tells you what stars are in the sky. You're intrigued now.
Yeah.
Which is now being slowed.
And what game would you recommend? What game have you played recently that you really like and you'd like other people to find out about?
Recently, that's a tricky one. Well, like I say, I've been sort of dabbling in lots of games, doing little bits and lots of games, rather than sitting there and dedicating something right at the end. I think the last thing that I got near to the end of an epic game was I got Dragon Age for last Christmas from my parents, and really put some time into it because it's Christmas presents, so I felt like it. And most of the time I was dabbling in things, so I don't get so much time. However, like I say, Civilization is cool, and I'm enjoying that, and I enjoy it on every format, to be fair. Play that loads on the PC, and in a week or so's time, Civilization 5 is coming out, so that'll be it. I'll lose my life, because that's a game that you can play for.
James, it's lucky we came to talk to you before Civ 5 came out, and we managed to get some.
You wouldn't get any time then, that'll be it.
James, thank you very much for talking to us. Hopefully we'll come back and see you again soon.